Howdy folks, Brother Jim reporting here at End Times Prophecy News. I thought I would show you, I'm not doing news hardly anymore because of YouTube blocking everything, but I couldn't believe what I read in here and found out in this story. Fake news MSNBC hack, Lawrence O'Donnell panics and apologizes for Trump-Russia smear after POTUS threatens lawsuit. But there's more to this story than that title is. Fake news MSNBC hack Lawrence O'Donnell is in hot water after yet another Trump-Russia smear. Lawrence O'Donnell spread another Trump-Russia lie in an episode of the program The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell on Tuesday night, and Trump's lawyers immediately responded. O'Donnell was reporting on the news that Deutsche Bank confirmed it was in possession of some of Donald Trump's tax returns and that he paid very little taxes. What news is that? We know that most CEOs and very wealthy people don't pay a lot of taxes. Let's see, the richest man in the world, according to fake news, the one who heads up Amazon, I forgot his name. He pays no taxes. Google pays no taxes. Facts. But Trump does pay little taxes, according to Lawrence O'Donnell, fake news. But all right, let's continue with the story. As part of the O'Donnell news report, he claimed that Trump's co-signers on his Deutsche Bank loans were Russian oligarch billionaires with close ties to Putin, citing one anonymous source. Quote, Deutsche Bank is in possession of loan documents that show Donald Trump has obtained loans with co-signers and that he would not have been able to obtain those loans without co-signers, O'Donnell said, adding, the source close to Deutsche Bank says that the co-signers of Donald Trump's Deutsche Bank loans are Russian billionaires close to Vladimir Putin. O'Donnell wasn't done. He said that if this is true, it explains every kind of word that Donald Trump has ever said about Russia and Vladimir Putin. And it turns out that Lawrence O'Donnell has never seen the relevant documents, and neither has his source. Wow. The collapse of MSNBC, is it starting to happen? I'll show you why in a minute. Now you can listen to this short 4-minute video, but pretty much everything is in here. And a couple other things you need to understand. It's an anonymous source, remember, the same thing as usual. And he is saying they're Russian oligarchs, but there's no proof of that. On top of that, Lawrence O'Donnell has not even seen the relevant documents, and neither has his source. Who's telling you that? Check this one out. Trump's lawyers, but first, Trump's lawyers wasted no time and sent a letter to NBC demanding a retraction over Lawrence O'Donnell's outrageous claims. Quote, these statements are false and defamatory and extremely damaging, attorney Charles Harder wrote. Quote, the only borrowers under these loans are Trump's entities, and Mr. Trump is the only guarantor, Harder added. And here is Oliver Darcy, who is an avid Trump hater, has major Trump derangement syndrome. New Trump attorney Charles Harder has sent a letter to NBC demanding a retraction over Lawrence's Deutsche Bank claim. These statements are false and defamatory and extremely damaging, Harder writes. And if you don't know anything about Oliver Darcy, Alex Jones, he wrote all kinds of fake stuff about Alex Jones and got Alex. They had a confrontation at the White House. Anyway, shortly after President Trump's lawyers threatened to sue the left-wing hack, he fired off an apology. Quote, last night I made an error in judgment by reporting an item about the president's finances that didn't go through rigorous verification and standards process. I shouldn't have reported it, and I was wrong to discuss it on the air. I will address the issue on my show tonight, Lawrence O'Donnell said in a tweet, as you see right here. Now, here comes the real blockbuster. Michael Del Moro, a producer for MSNBC, admits that no one at the network, including O'Donnell's source, has even seen the Deutsche Bank loan documents. How about that one? Deutsche Bank is declining to comment on Lawrence O'Donnell's reporting that Russian oligarchs co-signed Trump's loans. Now, he's telling you, a producer, and if you don't know what a producer is, they're the ones who put out all the money. You take away the producer and MSNBC shuts down immediately. Okay? There's no money. They produce the money for the network. Okay? He is saying Deutsche Bank is declining to comment on Lawrence O'Donnell's reporting, meaning they're not going to collaborate. That Russian oligarchs co-signed Trump's loans. The information came from a single source who has not even seen the bank records. Wait a minute. Michael Del Moro, not Michael Moore, but Michael Del Moro, is telling you that this source, he knows who this source is, but he won't name him himself, has not even seen the bank records. NBC has not seen those records either and has not yet been able to verify the reporting. The man who puts out all the money for the network is telling you that Lawrence O'Donnell reporting this made it all up. Now, he did not have to say that in replying to the lawsuit, the threatening of lawsuit from the Trump administration, right? No, he didn't have to tell you that. But what I see here, and you can easily find out what a producer is. Hold on. What is a producer of a TV show? A producer is a person who oversees all aspects of video production on a television program. Some producers take more of an executive role in that they conceive new programs and pitch them to the television networks, but upon acceptance, they focus on business matters such as budgets and contracts. You see? So they're not technically the people who put out the money, but they're the go-betweens between those who put out the money and those who report it, like Lawrence O'Donnell. Okay? So without business contracts, there is no MSNBC. It seems to me that we have a collapse of the propaganda machines coming, folks. Could it be? Here we are, straight from the producers, telling you the Deutsche Bank is declining to comment on Lawrence O'Donnell's reporting that Russian oligarchs co-signed Trump's loans. He did not have to say this. You notice there's a big change here going on compared to 2 years ago? 2 years ago, they refuted everything Donald Trump said, and Trump was always on the defense. But things are changing nowadays, aren't they? Now, Trump and their lawyers throw out a threat, and immediately they backtrack. It's a big change. And now we have the producer telling you it was all fabricated lies, and that the source, the unnamed source that he knows, didn't even see the bank records. Because you can't tell me that Michael Del Moro didn't know who the source was if he is telling you that the source, did not see the bank records. You see that? Wow. I would say that the whole propaganda machine is starting to collapse, just like the 2020 Democrat opposition to Trump being president is collapsing day after day. I mean, you have what do you call it? the lady who Kirsten Gillibrand just dropped out of her presidential hopeful. Biden has lost 45% of his support ever since he started his campaign, because I mean, Joe Biden, if he wanted to try and run for president in 2020, he had a better chance before he started opening his mouth. It's true. Ever since he's opened his mouth in campaigning and going to these places that hold like 50 or 100 people and 20 people show up, he's lost 45% of his support already. It's true. It's true, you know? And the whole Democrat Party is in a slow motion train wreck. I mean, look at this. They can't do nothing. Even Jill Biden is losing confidence in Sleepy Joe. It is a joke. He is now calling Japan, the whole nation, xenophobic. Wow, you've got to be a nutball. And then when you go down here, you look again at here's liberal Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand drops from presidential primary race as of yesterday. I mean, it's just amazing. And look at this. The Department of Homeland Security bars Dems from visiting border facilities after staffers were rude to officers engaged in disruptive behavior. The DHS is working with the CBD to bar Democrat staffers. And the Congress and Congress and their impeachment inquiry to demonize the CBD protection offices of illegal aliens. It's amazing. FBI raids Detroit area home of UAW union boss in a massive corruption probe. FBI crime lab examining 2 broken cameras outside prison cell where Epstein died. We all know it's a cover-up. And you got David Zublick reporting that his body was switched, and he is in protective at the U.S. with the military at a base, that he never died. It's all a fake by the Trump administration to protect him. And I have a problem with believing David Zublick on this unnamed source from David Zublick, because I just don't believe that happened. Because in other words, the Trump administration, who is investigating through the district attorney Bill Barr on his death and wrongful death and all the things that happened, is all a complete farce? Is that what you're saying, David Zublick? I don't believe it. Nope, I don't believe it, David Zublick. Nope. That don't make no sense to me. So, but I wanted to show you, now Biden can't even remember his boss's name. That's right. He forgets Obama's name, and so he says, my boss. He's lost it. So anyway, you have the propaganda machines falling apart. You have the 2020 Democratic hopefuls for president falling apart. It's a total joke what's going on. Oh, and then the greatest news is James Comey's by Rudy Giuliani. He's going to jail 3 or 4 years in prison for his treasonous acts against the president. That's right. For creating the coup d'etat and fake Russian collusion hack. And then the New York City Police Union passes a no confidence resolution against 2020 Democrat nominee Bill de Blasio and the police commissioner. 25,000 are under that agreement that they want them both to step down because they're demonizing the police in New York City. the coup d'etat, the New World Order beast system, and the tentacles of the deep state are everywhere. Here's a funny one. Portly Hillary Clinton spotted in Hamptons looking rough wrapped in a tent. What on earth is this? What is she wearing here? What is this over here? What, has she got a whole machine hooked up to her? Are all those pictures of her here recently? Is this the clone? And is this the real Hillary? Are you going to tell me this is Hillary, but this is Hillary? I suspect that this is the real Hillary that's half dead, and this is the clone. I don't know. Food for thought. But I do definitely believe there are clones, and that's why they brought around these clones over 15 years ago, so that they could use them in political situations. Anyway, things are looking really bad for the propaganda machine. Fake news. Now we have the producers telling you that we know we're putting out fake news. How long will it last? To me, it looks like a house of cards collapsing. Thank you for listening. Let me be serious with you. I would rather that you donate to my ministry directly. I cannot survive financially to keep this ministry and news service going without your help. And we all know their plans to shut me down again. But many of you would like to receive a gift or product as a token of my appreciation. And I don't blame you. Isn't it about time Uncle Sam started paying you instead of you paying him? It is about time. The federal government pays you your rent check. The government rents out thousands of buildings instead of buying them every year. This is all funded by the current $11.1 billion building fund in our budget. Get your free federal rent check today. Sign up with the Federal Millionaire, information here down below. Become a shareholder to receive federal rent checks for life by making a one-time investment as a shareholder. An IRS ruling declares this to be totally legal. This is no joke, no scam, and been for many years. The longer your name is on the distribution list, the larger your federal rent check grows. As inflation rises along with real estate, the government pays you more every year. Starting out as little as $1,800 a month would be your rent check. Wouldn't that be nice to receive every month a rent check like that? The federal government continues to raise your income as inflation rises. This puts an end to retiring with a fixed income that leaves you going broke as you get older. This will put a major dent in those people who hate their home taxes going up every year, wouldn't it? And folks, the price for this valuable information will cost you only $39 a year or $79 for a 2-year membership. Sign up today.